loyal viewers around the globe. This is Agung SS Oil Gas Mine Lore Channel, broadcasting from Jakarta, Indonesia. So our topic today, relating to the episode 4, is significant actions to secure the energy supply. From our observation, significations are being done by the respective nations, either it's a big nation or a group of nations, to secure their energy supply. Due to the shortage of oil, gas, and also the increasing price of the oil and gas, and also the shortage of the oil and gas, and also the inflation, and also the shortage of the food, and also shortage of the fertilizer globally, combined also with the conditions of the extreme climate which is occurring in this world. So part of it is also caused by the Russian and Ukrainian war crisis, which is attached to the geopolitical issue. So we can see that there are several big nations and also some group of nations who had done some actions in order to secure their energy supplies. So the first significant action was made by Joe Biden. Joe Biden, through the Department of Energy, in which on November 23rd, 2021, he had announced that the Department of Energy had released 50 million barrels of oil from its strategic petroleum reserve to lower the price for the Americans. So it is indicated that within the internal politics aspects in US, Joe Biden wants to secure his electability for the midterm elections, as well as also the Senate midterm election, also the president elections 2024. So that is why such action was also being taken by Joe Biden. And this unilateral action by USA had a great impact to the producers, to the oil producers around the world, including to OPEC oil producers. So Saudi Arabia, who was really depending their budget on the selling of their oil products, they announced that Saudi Arabia will cut 2 million barrels per day of their oil production, which of course is a supply and demand situation, which makes Joe Biden really upset and angry. So because it was announced close to the midterm elections, it was really driving up the oil prices. So Joe Biden was set up and angry, and he mentioned that Saudi Arabia must face the consequence. There was also a speaker from the Democrat which accused that Saudi Arabia has made an alignment with Russia. That is for the accusation made by one of the speakers in the Democrat.
So there are two actions made by USA and response from Saudi Arabia to secure their respective energy supplies. However, since these actions were taken due to the shortage of oil resulting from the geopolitical escalating tensions among Russia versus NATO, US, Western countries in this Ukraine part of region, it really impacts the global price in the oil market.
Okay, then now we go to the next significant actions in securing the energy supplies, which is done by Germany. So Germany had already completed the first floating LNG terminal in the northern part of Germany, in the port which is called Wilhelmshaven. So before this first floating LNG terminal is completed, there is another one which is the jetty, in which the jetty was also completed in order to allow the arrival of, for the mooring of this special so-called ship, which is the floating storage and regasification unit, or usually it is abbreviated as FSRU, which collects the LNG from the LNG tankers, and then it will be regasified before feeding it to the pipeline on the land. So the mechanism is like that. So the interesting part is that there is a twice cost. It is doubling the estimated cost of this project, of this floating project, because the estimated cost in 2022 was actually around 3 billion euros, but then it doubles into 6.56 billion euros, which is really expensive. However, an action, the government of Germany believes that this is the significant actions that had to be made in order to secure these energy supplies for Germany, especially facing this winter. So the capacity volume of each of the floating terminal is expected to at least 5 billion cubic meter per year for each of the 5 floating LNG. So if you multiply it, then it will sum up into 25 billion cubic meter per year to secure the energy supplies for Germany, especially facing this cold winter in the December 2022, supplying the energy supplies to Germany. So the important thing in the short term for facing this winter is to have this first LNG terminal to be completed. So it is expected that the terminal at Wilhelmshaven and another at Brunnschatel are scheduled to be operational early next year, 2023. So, and the third and fourth floating LNG terminal is to be opened at the ports of Stade and Lubmin, which are expected operational by the end of 2023. So we can see here that this is really a significant action which the German made, because it seeks alternative LNG sources, because as we know, so Germany was really on the shortage of this natural gas, because as we know, there was a sabotage in which there was a leak in the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 because of the explosion under the Baltic Sea. And that is causing a shortage in the supply of the natural gas via this Nord Stream 1. And Nord Stream 2, as we know, it did not yet receive the certificate from the government of the German regulatory, because the requirement, because due to the eruption or emerge of this war crisis between Russia and Ukraine. We know that German, by history, they are depending 40% to not 50% on the gas supply from Russia via this Nord Stream 1 pipeline. So they don't have any LNG terminal. That's why it is very significant and urgent, according to the government of German perceptions, that they plan to rent this five floating LNG terminal to secure their energy supplies, especially facing this cold winter in December 2022. So we can see here that it is a significant action made by the German government. Okay then. So now we go to the next one, which is also a significant actions, which is made between China and Qatar, in which they signed a long-term LNG contract worth 60 billion United States dollar. Okay, so Qatar is planning to send Sinopec 4 million tons of LNG per year starting from 2026. So this agreement was also made by China to seek to bolster energy security. So we can see that there is a long-term LNG contract in which this is considered to be one of the countries largest in terms of volume relating to this LNG contract.